the NBA in-season tournament. They had their first night this past Friday.
Yeah.
And I got so many thoughts on this, man. You know, I was kind of one. I'm like, I like the idea. Because I thought that they packaged it and sold it very well. The idea that you would have meaningful games early in the year, that guys would have an added incentive and coaches to play and play harder in a tournament style matchup or tournament style matchups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear that word tournament, right, that carries a connotation, right? That there's urgency, right? It's like the word playoff. You hear playoff and you like, oh, there's urgency, right? People are going to be pushing a lot harder. There's going to be more intensity. So, like I had a long week last week, man. The third quarter has started out rough for me on a number of different fronts on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
But I, not to get into all of that. So I'm like, man, look, I'm gonna chill for a minute. I got off work a little late on Friday. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get into this Pacers and Hawks game though. Jumped off the NBA in-season tournament, man. Put in a little parlay.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, let me put in a parlay because it's the in-season tournament. So we're gonna play the front line guys. Now, Indiana had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Ben Mathurin was out. Obi Toppin was out. Of course, we already know Halliburton is gone. I think
Nembhard's out.
Nembhard, yeah, he got a shoulder injury. But Siakam was playing and Neesmith was playing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. And so, I'm watching the game and Atlanta was they were in control of the game. And they were up, double digits, with about 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And so I'm watching the game. And so, full disclosure, I took Siakam for 20-6.
Pretty modest.
He had 18-5 with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And they sent him to the bench. I'm like, okay, he's going to take his rest. He'll be back in the fourth. And
burp that bucket and rebound.
I'm like, man, I got this. And the only reason I'm bringing that up, not to complain about my parlay per se, but because the NBA is constantly like, hey, get on this betting site, get on that betting site, make every moment matter, make every one of these, make every bucket matter. So I'm like, okay, I'm put me in a parlay. And I was a little concerned when I saw the bench brigade that they brought in. A lot of G leaguers, a lot of two-way players, and Mac McClung.
Oh, they hit you with the Mac.
But I'm like, okay, whatever. They down a lot of guys. So, maybe they, gonna let the starters refresh. You know what I'm saying? Now, in a tournament where point differential is supposed to matter, speaking of waving the white flag, Rick Carlisle played this group for the rest of the game. Pascal Siakam, Neesmith, the starters never came back out. Now I'm like, Rick Carlisle is a veteran. This the in-season tournament. You done sold me that the in-season tournament is more competitive.
You know who wasn't sold on it?
Rick Carlisle.
Bing, bing, bing.
Didn't give a damn about the in-season tournament. Nobody told him that point differential mattered, because even if he thought he was going to lose the game, I'm like, okay, point differential matter. He'd give his starters, 5 minutes. And I mean, it wasn't a 40-point blowout. It was like maybe 15, 16. So I'm like, he'll give them a chance to close it down a little bit, maybe see if they can get back in it. No. He left them on the bench for the rest of the game. He completely waved the white flag. Yeah. He left the G leaguers out there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Wait, I thought this was the in-season tournament.
Man.
Now let me get on Nick Nurse. Because so the 76ers and the Celtics, they played a fairly competitive game. But Nick Nurse is running a three-headed center. Now we know that Joel Embiid, he got 1 foot out the league and 1 foot on a banana peel, basically, at this point. But he running a three-headed center that includes Andre Drummond, Adem Bona, and Joel Embiid in a competitive game. And Adem Bona is getting major tick. Need I say more about that?
Man, it is rough watching Joel Embiid labor up the court, dude.
Bro.
Man, it is rough.
Them knees ain't no good, bro. They are no good. And I feel bad because
it's rough to watch.
We know how great Joel Embiid really
is. Dude. Like, it's bad. Like, you can't run a screen and roll with Joel Embiid at all. And it's sad. Like, I literally watched him try to do it a couple times, and he just flares out.
Before as much.
Because he can't scoop down and grab the ball if it's a bounce pass.
Yeah. Before as much as I was aggravated by the Pacers in the Hawks game, and I wasn't really aggravated by the Philly and Boston game because that actually was a good game. It was just a little weird to see Adem Bona getting so many minutes.
Nurse Nick.
The capper for the night to me, the one that said, you know what, throw the whole in-season tournament in the trash, was the Lakers and the Grizzlies. The Lakers-Grizzlies game, it was actually a good game, but it was just weird. It was a weird game to watch.
That game pissed you off.
It was just a weird game to watch. First of all, DeAndre Ayton had 0 rebounds in the first half. Right? So, I mean, that was weird, but I mean, whatever, because if you know DeAndre Ayton, you know that DeAndre Ayton gonna do that sometime.
Yeah.
So fine. Okay. That was weird. But that wasn't the weirdest part. The weirdest part is that at halftime, after halftime, DeAndre Ayton did not come back out with the LA Lakers. He didn't start the second half. But that ain't even the weirdest part. The weird part was that he wasn't even on the bench. But that ain't even the weird part. The weird part is that nobody on the broadcast said anything about it.
Yeah.
Now, need we remind you that the NBA is in the middle of a gambling scandal. Terry Rozier allegedly encouraged his friends to bet his unders after he took himself out of games.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Ayton, I will remind you again, had 0 rebounds in the first half and did not return to the bench in the third quarter. And nobody on the broadcast said anything about it. The announcer, he just sitting there talking in announcer voice. They just having all kinds of great conversations. The sideline girl is telling us about, I'm talking about, she giving us every dumb fact that she can find. She telling us about people's favorite snacks on the bench.
That's what they feeding her through the ear.
She telling us about where this one went to junior college and where his mama worked and what his favorite gym shoe was when he was in the 6th grade. Nobody thought to say, hey, why don't you go over to the Lakers bench and ask them where the starting center is. This is not the Grand Valley Lakers. This is the Los Angeles Lakers. This is the major basketball. This is the starting center for the Los Angeles Lakers, and nobody inquired.
They said we got Jackson Hayes. We good.
No, but he has disappeared from the bench.
No, that was wild.
Did he get into a fight with his coach? Did he retire? Like in the NFL, we've had guys retire at halftime.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he retire? Did he get into it with his coach? Did he have to use the bathroom? Did he run down? Did he get into a fight with his girl? What happened at halftime where he did not come back? Nobody reported that. You are in the middle of a gambling scandal and he had 0 rebounds. So now it looks suspicious. Now everybody online like, what happened to DeAndre Ayton? I'm looking at Lakers beat reporters. They like, oh, the Lakers have not reported what has happened to DeAndre Ayton. None of them are saying anything about it. that looked weird.
Mm.
Now, if that wasn't weird enough, Ja Morant scored 8 points in the first quarter and proceeded not to score again.
Yeah.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but the NBA is in the middle of a gambling scandal where Terry Rozier allegedly took himself out of games and encouraged his friends to bet his unders. And again, the announcers are not like, hey, what's up with Ja Morant? He's struggling tonight. They're not even saying anything about it. And then Ja Morant got offended that his coach took him out. Well, you the one acting like you in a pickup game at Lifetime Fitness, buddy.
Yeah.
And
he didn't have an explanation, he said.
And the undertones of all of this is that this is supposed to be opening night of the in-season tournament. This is supposed to be players and coaches buying in to a more competitive brand of basketball. And then in the fourth quarter, they run DeAndre Ayton back out there. And this looks staged to me. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Now he working with the trainers and they, using the little thing, the pulsator on his back and all of that.
Back tightness.
Yeah, he all of a sudden he had this back tightness and these back spasms that for some reason they couldn't report at the beginning of the third quarter. They had to keep it all hush hush.
Back tightness is hard to diagnose. Because, it could be sciatica, even though you're dancing at the club.
They could have just said that he's struggling with some back tightness, he's struggling with some hip pain, whatever it was. But why keep it hush hush for a whole quarter and some change? That all looked suspicious. It looked weird. Ja Morant is out here shaving points, looking suspicious, or I ain't gonna say he was shaving points. He wasn't engaged in the game for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think Ja Morant is just a whole nother bag of cookies, man.
But
I think he's just checked out of Memphis.
Yeah, and we gonna get to that. But this in-season tournament though.
Oh, I mean, that's just been a turd from its inception.
Yeah.
But,
so if we not gonna have coaches bought in, if we not gonna have players bought in, if we not gonna have everybody playing hard, if we not gonna have people telling about if a guy gets injured, if we got injuries being kept all hush hush, if networks are not gonna be serious about actually getting injury updates and information from teams, and if teams are going to be able to withhold that and then throw the whole damn thing away. Why are we even doing this? Because none of that is a more competitive brand of basketball. Yeah. Players ain't bought in, coaches ain't bought in. Ja Morant out there trying to make some kind of a statement or whatever he's doing. DeAndre Ayton got back spasms, maybe, because he had 29 and 10 the other night, so I guess the back spasms went away. Because they played Portland, his former team, and I guess he wanted to make a statement, so the back spasms wasn't bothering him no more.
No, they'll be back Friday.
Man, throw this whole damn in-season tournament thing away, man.
Hey, man. Welcome.
Throw it away.
Welcome home, man.
Because nobody is taking it seriously.
No.
It's not a serious NC. It's not a serious tournament. There's nothing tournament about it.
I mean,
it's just another regular season game that y'all changed the floor for.
Yep.
Rick Carlisle didn't give a damn about the in-season tournament. Ja Morant didn't give a damn about the in-season tournament. DeAndre Ayton didn't give a damn about the in-season tournament.
Nope.
Amazon Prime, the announcers didn't give a damn about the in-season tournament. The sideline reporters didn't give a damn about it. The LA beat reporters didn't give a damn about it. Nobody gave it. So why should I give a damn about it? I could have been doing something on my Friday night.
Hey, man.
Other than watching that turd, as you called it, that y'all laid in front of me.
It's been a joke.
It was nonsense.
I mean, if Rick Carlisle, that's not the dead giveaway. Because, again, here's a coach who's coached in the final of
This is what I'm talking about.
And he's just like, he's over it.
He don't care.
But like I said, it was never any stakes with this thing. Like, I mean, Did anybody last year think that the Oklahoma City Thunder were less of a favorite because they lost the final in the Emirates Cup last year? Like, no one cared. Like, were the only people that thought the Lakers were more of a favorite to do anything because they won were Laker fans. That's it.
LeBron.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? But
LeBron fans.
But it carries no weight. We all, I won't say we all, but most basketball fans know for the most part, the players don't really get active till Christmas.
Yeah.
So to think that you're going to have a tournament that's going to be competitive a week or 2 weeks within a new season where you still got players settling either the new teams, coming back from injury.
No, man. Well, maybe I'm slow. Because I was holding out hope that maybe guys would get into it. Maybe they would want another 500,000. I guess guys just make too much money, man. They don't care enough. Go ahead, nephew.
I don't know if it's salvageable or not, but at the very least, and what's done is done now because we're in the beginning of an 11-year media deal.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they didn't sell all the rights to the NBA Cup games to Amazon, short of local blackout. Like, local blackout out locally for those local fans and whatnot. But they should have sold all the rights to Prime or whatnot, so that on those nights, because remember, this is all happening on one night, maybe 2 nights of the week. Give people the chance to choose which game they want to watch.
Right. Yeah.
You probably would have made more money in that way either as well, because you're selling more of your games off.
Yeah.
People are already mad that you got to go to Timbuktu to find every game.
Right.
Just make them all accessible. They should have just made them all accessible on Prime. You don't need League Pass for that night. You already didn't have League Pass on Thursdays. For the longest. Because of both games was on TNT.
Yep.
So like,
or ESPN, was it one night was TNT and then I think
but you know,
could get it. It was accessible.
ESPN, but the ESPN games nights were still nights where the rest of the league was playing. I'm talking about like those Thursday night TNT games where you didn't have League Pass those nights most of the time.
Right.
Just sell the games off. Just sell the games off and at least make it accessible for everybody, because instead of watching that Lakers Grizzlies atrocity, even though Luka was playing his ass off, people could have went over and switched over to the Pelicans Clippers game that ended in the buzzer beater. With Kawhi, a Kawhi game winner. So like, and I mean, you know, people gonna sell high seas and do what they got to do, but just make it more accessible and at least that would alleviate some of the problems. I don't know I wouldn't say it's gonna solve all the problems, but it's a start. Like, you don't have to keep people from watching actual good product, which is what you need right now. You need people to watch the good product.
Right.
Real talk.
And another thing that I always found that was dumb to me, make it interconference, man. The whole East and West, no, dude. Like, do like how, you know, maybe take something from the college football playoff model where you do a power ranking at the beginning of the season and you match it up that way. Like, people would tune in to see throw a name out there, Giannis and Joker.
Yeah.
You know, a matchup like that in the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, people would want to see something like that. Luka and, you know, a healthy, or even Jaylen Brown now, you know, just off the finals matchup.
Yeah.
You know, something like that where it's not a mini playoff.
Right.
Pretty much. It's not playoff light at the beginning of the season. Do something different. You know, make the East play the West, and maybe that'll be different. You know, you could probably see some matchups that fans, you know, regularly only get 4 opportunities to see. They get a bonus game or 2 with a team from another conference, you know, that they don't typically get to see. Something, because, you know, as is, like I said, no one cares.
Yeah.
I never did. Right. So.
No, man. I mean, no, you had it right. I was holding out some hope, man, that this would generate some competitiveness, you know, early in the year. But no, man, you had it right. It needs to be thrown away.